understand is Pantun by definition. What is actually Pantun? So, Pantun, ladies and gentlemen, is actually one of the Indonesian traditional poems. Yeah, that consists of 4 sentences. Yeah. It is actually a poem or a poetry, if you're familiar with this term. And then the fact that Pantun is actually our tradition. So right now you're not only learning Bahasa Indonesia, but you guys also learn our tradition, one of the most popular tradition in Indonesia. Whenever you go to Java, for example, or to Makassar, for example, or other islands, and then you mention about Pantun, they will definitely familiar with this one, simply because Pantun is part of our traditions. Yes. And if you guys are wondering how does actually Pantun look like, so Pantun look like this. It actually consists of 4 sentences. Yes. So Pantun consists of 4 sentences. So that is the definition of Pantun. Now the question, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about Pantun, it actually has a number of functions. Yes. And one of the functions of Pantun itself is to introduce ourselves. In this case, we can inform people our name. We can also inform people our age. And another thing that we can inform people using Pantun is the country that we are coming from, or simply put, our country. But the question is, there are 4 lines here, right? There are 4 sentences. The question is, which sentence or which line we can inform people our name, right? Is it in the first line? Or is it in the second line? Or third line? Or fourth? What do you guys think? Would you like to guess?
First line. Our line.
First line. Okay. What about you, Silvano? Which line out of these 4 we can inform people our name?
The first.
In the first line. Okay. What about you, Derek? Dennis, right? Is your name Dennis, right?
Yeah.
What about you?
My name is what I think maybe at the first of all, most of the people introduce themselves by starting with the name, then their country, then mostly the age comes at the end. Most of the people they give out an introduction or a conversation.
Yeah, thank you. Well, what if I said that all of your answers are actually wrong? If we want to inform, let's say, people our name, we actually put it in the third line. Yes. So for name, we put it in the third line. Yes, not in the first line or second line. Now what about, so here's the information. For the age and country, both are actually in the same line. Can you guys guess which line we inform people our age and our country?
Country, the first.
The first line. What about the others?
The last one.
The last one. Important line. What about you, Manuel? If you want to inform people, our age and our country, using Pantun, we put it in which line? Fourth line, second line, or first line?
Second. Country second.
Second one. You is actually the one who is correct. So if we want to inform people our age in our country, we put this information in the fourth line. Now the question, how to write this information in Pantun, right? How to put these informations in the third and fourth lines. Pay attention. This is it. Perkenalkan, nama saya Ahmad, berusia 22 tahun dari Indonesia. Yes. So later on, if you want to make a Pantun of your own self, you may change Rahmat into your own name, right? In this case, if your name is Emmanuel, then you may change Rahmat into Emmanuel, right? Also with the fourth lines, you can change 22 with your own age, as well as Indonesia with your own country. Okay. Now the question is, what about the first and second sentence? What information we put here? That is the questions. Can anyone guess? Or you don't have any clue for that? Clueless.
No, distinction between because we are not Indonesian.
Yes.
Like let me to try. Mostly in a poem, in our country, they usually use something that advanced poem. Maybe like when I want to introduce myself, I am a student from this. Do you mean if I say I am a student in University of Malaysia and will I go to the first one or in the upper part? I just want to.
It is actually a very common way of self-introduction, right?
Yeah.
Now this is the new one that I can guarantee more engaging, more memorable. So if you use this later on, whenever you are attending the event, people will definitely talk about you. Use this way.
Let me ask you, like, I want to say I'm a student in this university. Will I put that information in the first one or in the number one?
Okay, for that one, we'll be discussing later on. Yes. But for this class, the informations about yourself that you can convey to people are focusing only on names and age and country that you're coming from. For the information regarding your age, not age, but your major or your study program, later on we can talk about it, right? The question is, what about the first and second sentences? What information do we actually put there, right? So here's the thing. We can actually put any sentences, random sentences in the first and second lines. For example, hari Senin ketemu siapa? Cristiano, for example. Cristiano Ronaldo. We can actually put this sentence in the first line, and there's nothing wrong with that. Even the nonsense ones can be put in the first lines. There you go. Later on, you will definitely get the idea of it, the logic part of it. Yes. But why am I telling you that by another rule of Pantun, I am not allowed to write Cristiano here? I am only allowed to write Somat or Mama or any letter or any name that ends with the letter P. Can you guys understand the reason why? Why? What do you think, guys?
Because the first one is reading is like a poem, and a poem always have a reading. At the end, it is a reading at the end, and then at the end, always it repeats itself. Even the last, most of the people use the last sentence in the first paragraph, they can use in the second paragraph, and then reading that you mentioned here. Most of the first sentence are always like because me in my country, I used to like given a poem and then you are told to look for some information about it because every poem has it gives someone information that are hidden. So mostly they put those hidden complex meaning inside at the end. Yeah.
Yes, well, honestly, you delivered the point, to be completely honest. Why I am not allowed to write Cristiano here, but at the same time, I'm allowed to write Raksoma? Because, would you mind to pay attention to the ending letter of the third sentence? Yes, it ends with the letter T, right? So that is actually the rule of Pantun. For the first line, we can fill it with any sentence. But remember, we have to make sure that the ending letter of this first sentence match with the ending letter of the third sentence. Right. And in this case, meaning that if the third line or third sentence ends with letter B, then the first one must also end with letter B. There you go, that is actually correct. So, therefore, I am not allowed to write Cristiano here, right? I am only allowed to write Soma. But what if I change someone here into Ketut? Is it still okay or not? If I change someone here into Ketut, is it still okay or not? Still okay, right? Because Ketut and Rahmat both are still having the exact same ending letter. You got the point. Now what about the second sentence?
It's related.
Similar with the first sentence actually. We can put it with any random sentences, right? In this case, I'm going to write it like this. The sentence is like this. First line hari Senin ketemu, kalau second line itu hari Selasa ketemu. But the question is, ketemu siapa? We have to we have to figure out a name of person here. Name of person. For example, Silvano. I'm going to write Silvano. But again, the question: am I allowed to write Silvano here or not? Why?
Indonesia.
There you go. That is actually the point.
Indonesia.
Yes. So I'm only allowed to write a name that ends with the letter
Sylvia.
Sylvia. There you go. Sylvia. Sylvia. What else? Silva. Yes. I can also put Silva here. So you actually get the point, ladies and gentlemen. So this is it. So let's first understand that in this case, the ending letter of the first sentence match the ending letter of the third sentence, whereas the ending letter of the second sentence match the ending letter of the fourth sentence. There you go. There you go. So this is it. I'm going to give you hari Senin ketemu Soma, hari Selasa ketemu Raisa. Perkenalkan, nama saya Rahmat, berusia 22 tahun, dari Indonesia. So here's the thing. The functions of the first and second sentences, they are actually just random sentences, but they are helping us to deliver the main information, which is contained in the third and fourth lines, in a more creative way, in a more engaging way. Here's the thing. I just can say perkenalkan nama saya Rahmat, berusia 22 tahun dari Indonesia, but that's just too boring. It's less creative. It's flat. In comparison to me starting it with hari Senin ketemu Soma, hari Selasa ketemu Raisa. Perkenalkan, nama saya Rahmat, berusia 22 tahun dari Indonesia. This is exactly how we can use Pantun to introduce ourselves. Do you guys get the point? Yes. So remember, when it comes to Pantun, the first and second sentence we can fill it with any random sentences. But for today, we use this pattern: hari Senin ketemu, hari Selasa ketemu, right? And then when it comes to the third line of Pantun, you can fill it with your name. Whereas the fourth line of Pantun, you can fill it with two informations: your age and also the country that you're coming from, or in this case, your country.
So I think this will be perkenalkan saya sebenarnya.
Yeah. Later on, you are about to make your own Pantun of self-introduction as well. And that, at that time, you have to change Rahmat into your own name. Also, you have to change 22 here with your own age. Also, Indonesia with your own country. But later on, you're going to make or write your own country as well.